all you seem to hear about are the ones that are getting into trouble, and whether it's B&Es or violence, or that's all we seem to hear about.
I think that with the way that I see media, or I see movies, or I see the influences on what kids see, just are bombarded visually with, I think we're giving them messages that they're scary, that we're to be scared of them, that they're not to be trusted, they're not to be, you step aside, you don't trust packs of them for sure. I think we're told to be scared of our kids nowadays.
You know, I have some adult friends of my own. If they're out for a walk or downtown or on the Galloping Goose and they see a group of 5 or 6 kids, they get nervous. They don't want to go that way. And I think, well, why? Here you're labeling them just because there's 5 or 6 of them standing there.
And so a teen by definition is rude, lazy, violent, stoned, sexually irresponsible. Well, I guess you get what you ask for.
Some kids, I think, start to expect to feel that that's how they should behave, and they will be rude to you. And if they're not treated with respect, well...
If we are in a negative frame of mind about a teen, they are going to live down to that expectation.
Linda Popov is the co-founder of the Virtues Project. She gives workshops to teens, parents, and teachers across Canada.
And I promise you that you will learn a new language, a language which can keep you in touch with the powers you have and the virtues of other people. So new language.
One of the strategies of the Virtues Project concerns the power of language.
If they say to you, I'm really confused.
Language can shape our attitudes. Language can be used to create labels. Linda talks to some youth about the negative power of labels on a personal level.
What I want to ask you to do is to share some kind of put down that you have heard and let me know, how does it feel?
If I was like sick or something, or if I didn't clean the house, he'd always call me worthless, or if I didn't do what he wants. And he'd just call me worthless and tell me that it doesn't matter how I am, I should always do stuff for him.
Julie, how did you feel when you heard that word worthless?
I felt that, well, at first I felt really mad, but then I said, well, maybe I am worthless, maybe I gotta try harder to do what he wants.
The way we think about them is like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I've lived in a variety of foster homes. I've lived in them all my life because I don't know all my parents or many of my family. And my foster mom always used to say, you're useless and you're stupid. And she always used to say that it was my fault my parents left me when I was a baby. And it just made me feel, you know, like nobody loved me.
Svea, what was the hardest thing about staying in a place where you didn't feel loved? You felt put down?
Well, I don't know. I always wanted to hurt myself because I felt that I didn't need to live anymore. In school, I had to have 80% and up, and if I didn't, she used to hit me and call me stupid. You're so stupid. How come you can't do any better than that?
So she really shamed you for everything.
There's lots of other families that did it to me, so I feel that I can't trust people, you know?
We can do so much by changing our thoughts, changing the way we think about them and the way we hold them. We need to hold them in the light of something positive and expect the best from them. What virtue could she have called on in you to encourage you instead of putting you down like that?
Encourage me?
Yes. What virtue do you think she could have invited you to?
I don't know. She'd help me with my determination to do better in school.
Excellent, yeah.
And, you know, to help me, and just to help me do my best in school instead of always saying I have to do this, I have to get this grade, because it makes me feel that I'm not good enough, you know?
That's an excellent point. She would encourage you to excellence, to determination, to do your best, whatever that looks like, and help you set goals for what you wanted to do. That's not like imposing some kind of arbitrary grade on you and saying if you fall below that, then you should be ashamed of yourself. So how would you have felt if instead of putting you down with that verbal abuse, she had instead used words like,
She can
be
say that
determined. How do you think you would have
I
felt?
trust that you can do whatever you believe in. I
Exactly.
care about you. I know that you can do well because I know you're a really smart person, you know,
Yes.
instead of always putting me down, because the more she puts me down, the more I feel lower about myself, and I have lower self-confidence in
Yes.
myself.
If our attitude shifts, if we're not, oh, here she comes again, or here he is again, and I'm going to have to deal with him, and I'm so exhausted. If we replace that kind of thinking with, here is my child walking through the door, and I'm going to be glad to see her. I'm going to be glad to see him. And if he's hurting, I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to call forth the virtues that I know he has in him.